And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 7 PM on Monday the 29th of May. Well, it's actually 7:04 PM, but who's counting? It's sunny outside. It is the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, winter in the winter in the Southern Hemisphere. And we are here for the Spaghetti Bolognese Grand Prix. That's right. Imola has arrived. Who knows what we could call it? Emilia Romagna, Imola, San Marino, Bologna... Anything you want to call it, we're doing it. But we are here, Spaghetti Bolognese. We've got a treat for you as we speak. Round 9 of this season, season 10, underway. Championship nearing its conclusion. All I can say is we are in for a race. Few things to happen today. Looks a bit cloudy first and foremost, but we will bring you all of the joys of it. Indeed, Martin Hills goes bonjour and all that Italian nonsense. Well, we've called this the Spaghetti Bolognese Grand Prix, and that is what we're going to do. Keeping the roots of Spaghetti Bolognese, technically, in all things French, which spaghetti bolognese isn't, but it has garlic in it, which is from France. We have our very own member of Brookside, that lovely soap opera from the 1980s, 90s and 2000s. Our very own Scouser from Brookside ran away to France. Mr. Antoine, how are you, sir? Yeah, that is it. What are you? What are you doing? This is going to be a classic night. What? It's going. What, mama? You all ready for tier 1? There we go. Oh, we cannot hear any sound from you, according to the comments in the YouTube bio. That's fine. We shall conclude. Whilst you're doing that, I will just give the ladies and the gentlemen the latest in terms of the standings in Tier 2. After last week's race in Japan, we have an 11-point lead for Mr. Hodgson and the McLaren at the top. Kaiser Soze, who's second in the championship, won that race. So the gap, 11 points overall. Mr. Hodgson will be looking to extend that. Eddie Dust is in third place, but losing track very quickly off the back of the top two. He's 26 behind Kaiser Soze, and he's a mammoth 37 behind Mr. Hodgson. Fourth in the championship is the Lion King in McLaren, 64 points. He is, 50 behind Mr. Hodgson. Unlikely to win the championship this season. Could certainly finish in the top two. Could definitely take third place. And then Warren in the Haas Championship in the Constructors. It's a McLaren show, basically. 190 points. Alfa Romeo 124 in second. Mercedes in there. Pink and black and silver and whatever other colour triangle you want, 108 points. Wooden Spoon, Williams. Not a surprise, to be perfectly honest. 18 points. Chris Bailey, just atrocious. And he's not even racing in this tier. Tell us in the comments if you can hear Anthony now. Anthony, tell us now.
Benvenuti. Thank you very much, Martin, for telling us that we couldn't hear me. So now we're going to be able to hear me blubber about as Red Car Rambo spins around after Variante Minerale.
Oh, and that, but you know what? That is the man of the moment. The man he is back, yes, Red Car, the man who, he loves everything about Red Car, Northeast Coast, Yorkshire Coast. Let's have a wee look and see this. 11 kilometres east of Middlesbrough, 37,000 people. He is their mayor. That is, of course, Red Car Rambo, and we will jump on board with him. Sociopath goes quickest, 117.7 at the moment. Who have we got now? Simba is invalidated. Fox River is just coming up. Kaiser Soze, second in the championship, is provisional pole. Gini down into third. Waza up into third. Let's just keep an eye on the Fox. We can hear you. Although I don't agree with his dulcet tones commentary at all. This is Spaghetti Bolognese Central. Loppy in second. Let's just see what Jake can do as he comes round that final corner here at Imola. Ravazza coming through and goes second. Good lap from him. Let's have a look. Mark's just coming across the line and goes second. 10th and a half behind his championship challenger. Red car's on a lap. We'll keep away from him just now because he'll shout at me. Let's have a look.
It's been
is he
invalidated?
No, and Wazza's spun, and so is one of the Aston Martins. That's Gene Genie. Has Gene Genie and Wazza had a moment at the top of the hill into Piratella? Who knows, but we shall find out, possibly later on. Alex in the Alfa Romeo, flashing. He's going slow.
It's looking pretty dark out there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to get any rain before the end of qualifying.
Could you imagine if we did? Gatian. You're right, we might get a bit of rain. We'll see what's there. Heppy's coming through. Currently coming through Aqua Minerale. See what he can do as he comes up now into turns 14 and 15. He purple in the second sector in that Mercedes-Benz with the zero side pods. No longer. Let's see now as he comes down to Ravazza 1. What can he do? Happy the Mercedes, his teammates. Provisional pole at the moment. Nicely done there. Doesn't invalidate or anything like that. But got really wide coming on the exit. That's going to cost him a few tenths. So let's see as he comes across the line. 4th. Good for the Merc. Simba in the pit. Sorry, Ant.
No. I was just saying that Alex has started his lap. He's 2 seconds up on his very slow qualifying time for now. So it looks like he's on a proper lap this time.
Exactly. Let's see what he can do. Just coming up now out of Aqua Minerale all the way up that little kink of turn number 13 in Splatoon.
Second.
Ooh, now that's not going to help Mark at all because he needs to be alongside, if not beating Kaiser Soze. Let's see what Alex can do though. Good first run, a quarter of a second covering the top 5 pretty much. Let's see what Alex can do as he comes across the line. Is he going to be able to get into that top 5? Yes, he does, and by some margin. Alex quickest. 2.5 tenths. We said a quarter of a second covered the top 5. Not any longer. A quarter of a second covers the top 1. There we go. Right. Ryan's on an outlap. We'll come back to him. Carl is on an outlap. Probably disappointing the Ferrari again. That tends to what happens. Mr. E17 himself. Oh, it's just went straight on at the chicane. He was very keen there.
Martin's about to finish his lap.
He's indeed. Let's see what he can do. Jumping on board the French mobile. The Alpine boss. Yes, Alpine boss not very happy with his drivers, Martin included. And he might not be too happy with that lap either, down in 13th.
Definitely not. He's got much more pace in him.
He does. Wimax now, we're on board in the Red Bull. And he's got one of the Alfa Romeos just there, but he does it. Nicely done. Coming up from Aqua Minerale all the way to turns 14 and 15. Grissini is the name of this corner. Wimax nicely done there. He had a good battle in MRCX on Friday. Finished just in front of me after 3 second time penalty. Coming now down into Ravazza, turn number 18. Gets the car turned in, nicely done. 19 feathers the throttle on the exit, coming through and into the pits. That's Carl's managed to bin it. Coming out of Tamburello. He's coming out of Tamburello. So wait a minute, let's just jump on board with Ryan. Let's see where Carl's managed to bin it. He's binned it way coming out of Tamburello.
That's another one.
I mean, that almost looks Nelson Piquet-esque in 2008.
I remember that, but oh yeah, okay.
Yes,
right.
Crashgate. Yes, Crashgate. That was it.
Junior. Okay, I thought that was a PK.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, if he was racing in 2008, that would have been marvellous. But that's a weird place for Carl to lose it, because you're right. I think if he'd come out maybe onto the exit curb, he would have flipped himself around. But yeah, not the best season.
If he ran into another car. Possibly.
Not the best season though for the Ferraris at the moment. We'll see what happens, but let's see what Ryan can do as he comes. We're on board with him now, coming down into the faint turn of 16, and then the faint 17, now down into 18 and 19, 4.9 kilometres, 3.05 miles. Let's see what Ryan can do as he now powers down with that lovely pink and black helmet. He's going to come across the line into the 17s. He's second. Oh, the man's never been away. That man has never been away. Right. Going to jump.
He's 1/10 up on his lap in the first sector, so he's looking to set a pole time right now.
You keep an eye on him. We're on board with Monster at the moment, coming now down into the Grassini chicane. Doesn't maybe take as much as he could on the inside. One of the Alpha Tauris has just spun it, coming out the Grassini chicane. Not going to know who that is just now because we're watching Andrew. He's been busy. He's done no practice. That means nothing. He could stick it on pole. Let's see what he can do.
Switch to Mark very soon because
will do.
6/10 up on his best lap. The sun is out. Tumble down.
Andrew goes 7th. Mark is half a second up. He is going on to provisional pole as it stands at the moment. Powering out of the final Ravazza, and he's going to go into the 16s. Yes, he does. 1:16.7, and a mammoth half a second clear of his championship compadre. His teammate Simba's up into 3rd, but on another quick lap at the moment as well.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, he's a second down, so.
There we go. Ryan 5th. Was 2nd, now 5th. Monster 8th. Waza is in 9th, but he's slower. Fox River is coming to the start of his lap. Look at that, Eddie Dust, 1:16.664. The times are a tumbling here in Bolognese, capital of the world.
Can we say that Tumbarello down?
Well, yeah. That's a good one. We do like that. Lopper was, so keep an eye. Fox River, keep an eye on Loppy as well. Heppy is invalidated. Gini's run really wide at the top of the hill. Martin is just coming to the end of, well, A-time lap. Nope, he's diving into the pits. Dumb as Hornet. Let's have a wee ride on board with him. Purple. Nice. Let's see what he can do as he now comes back down into Ravazza. Oh, runs a little bit wide coming through Ravazza 1, but should be okay. As he now comes across the line into the 17s. 1:17.5. 11th is not bad. Fox River's just coming through as well. He's 0.2 of a second quicker. This could put him up into 8th place.
Max is looking rapid right now.
Yep, let's jump on board with him. There we go. That's Baldy Baldy, because Womax has gone into 3rd. Right. Kaiser Susie's on a quick lap, or he's on an out lap at the moment, sorry. Fox is there. Alex is flying, he's 0.4 of a second up. He's invalidated! You're right about Womax. Who else is on a lap?
He's about to finish his lap. He's about 3/10 up on his best lap at the end of sector 2, so not much left.
Nope, Manda, good evening. Let's see what Heppy can do. Is he going to be able to go up into the top 10 with this time? Yes, he does. He goes 6th. Let's have a look at Kaiser Sose, because he's just about to start his fastest lap. Yeah, he's just about to start his fastest lap, though. As we ride on board with him all the way flat through down to the Variante Tamburello. You've got to get the curbs here right, otherwise they are going to spin you, like we've seen with Carl potentially on the exit curb. Now coming all the way down into the Villeneuve chicanes, turn 5 and 6. Want to nail this one, you don't want to drift too wide into the gravel trap. Let's see what he is at the end of sector 1. 9/100ths up. He needs more than that. Get a move on, Steve. Get a move on. What you want, encouragement from the commentary team. You're not going quick enough, drive quicker. Coming now down into Peratella, you can invalidate there, but he doesn't, he keeps it nice there. Now down into Aqua Minerale, turns number 11, 12, and then that King to 13 where it's so easy to lose it. One of the McLaren's a little bit slow coming through turn sector 1 at the moment, coming now up, and he's just up by 6/100ths. This is not quick enough for him. He needs to be 6/10ths up, not 6/100ths up, as he now comes past Hepe's teammate. Down into Ravazza 1 and then looking for the exit of 2. He will not be happy with this lap. He'll be keen to get back to the pits and put a new set of boots on and fly. Let's see what he can do though. Is he going to get into any quicker? He goes 6th. He improved.
17 is the next one to set a lap, but it's not going to be particularly quick.
No. To be fair, Kaiser did improve by he gained about 2/10ths in that final sector, but he didn't gain enough over the course of the first 2 sectors to actually put himself up there. He needs to be alongside Mark, has to be. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of very quick drivers around him, and that's not what he needs right now. Who else have we got? It's all a little bit quiet right now. Yeah, Floppy has started his lap. We'll jump on board with him in the Williams. Last in the Constructors' Championship. If we could relegate them, we would, but might be a bit unfair. And he was on a fast lap, so he's not going to be happy about that. Loppy coming into Peratella just almost braked just a little bit earlier than he probably should have done, to be fair. Went a bit wide onto the grass, cost himself a bit. But let's see what he is.
He's trying to improve his lap, and he doesn't.
So he tried a second run, so he went fast lap, and we know that the ERS doesn't keep you going. Calvin, good evening, sir. But the ERS doesn't, you have to go into that fast lap, cool down fast lap. You can't just keep going for it. Let's see what Loppy can do though as he comes across the line. Is he going to improve on his 15th? He does! 8th place! Right, who else is on a lap? Alex is on a lap, but he's 7/10ths of a second down at the end of sector 2. Monster is on a 4-minute lap. It's got to be an out lap, surely. Wazza's down. Oh, he's up now, 4/10ths of a second. This could see him go up into the top 5, and right now Kaiser Soze is facing the enviable task of coming from late down the top 10. Let's see what Wazza can... Oh, Ravazza didn't help him there. Oh, and he spun it and he's out! Oh, he's not out yet, but he spun it and lost the wheel. He was about 4/10ths of a second up. DRS Julian's just coming across the line to start his fast lap, so we'll keep an eye on him. Who else is on a fast lap at the moment? Everyone, pretty much. Ryan is. Wazza's retired. He's managed to drop it in the pit lane. Yeah. Anyway. Simba is fractionally down on his best time, 2/100ths of a second. End of sector 2. Hepe is half a second up at the end of sector 1. I didn't know that.
Adidas has just improved again. So.
There we go. So Simba coming down to Ravazza. It seems to be Ravazza's catching quite a few drivers off into Ravazza 1, but let's see what Simba can do as he comes across the line. Looks to position that McLaren for the straightest run through and goes... Doesn't improve, well he does improve, but not substantially. DRS Julian...
About to set his lap.
Yeah, he does. 3rd place. Great lap time from him. Qualifying is over. If you've crossed the line, you have an opportunity. Sociopath is 2/10ths of a second up at the end of sector 1. So that's good. Oh, and he's ran wide coming out through Aqua Minerale. That's cost him. Not going to happen. Ryan up into 3rd place. Superb lap from the Haas driver there. Alex is on a quick lap. I know he's probably just missed out, actually. Wumax is in 5th place. Kaiser Soze is not going to improve. 7th is it. And Fox River manages to go into 6th already. We've got 6 places between championship leader and second in the championship. Make that 7. Whoa. This is not going well for the Mercedes man. Sociopath comes across the line, doesn't improve. Simba is not improving and he's invalidated. Dumbest Hornet is slightly down on his best time. Genie is down on his best time. 116.2. Dumbest Hornet comes across the line, doesn't improve. Martin is at the moment coming down into the Ravazzas.
Let's go second.
Yeah, Womack second, so Mark down to third, Kaiser Soze in ninth, so 6 places now. Let's see what Martin can do as he comes across the line. 17th. So there we have it, folks. Eddie Dust is your pole man in the Alfa Romeo, alongside Womack's third and fourth is the T-side trouble twosome of Mark and Ryan. Ryan apparently just came back. You wouldn't have thought it from looking at the laps that he did there. Alex in fifth, Heppy in sixth, Jake is in seventh, Sociopath in eighth. Good result for Jake there in the Ferrari. Let's see him capitalise on the race. Steve in ninth, Floppy Loppy in 10th. So starting in the midfield for second in the championship, he certainly needs to make manoeuvres. Simba and DRS Julian 11th and 12th. Simba would have hoped he would have been higher up in the pack to protect his teammate. Monster in 13th and Wazza in 14th. Considering Andrew kind of cocked up a couple of his laps, it's not a bad return so far. The Aston Martins are 8th row of the grid. Dumbest Hornet and Genie in 15th and 16th. The Alpine in 17th alongside the two Alpha Tauris in 18th and 19th. And Carl rounds out the back of the pack after his spin coming out of the Tamburello chicane. Right,
action-packed qualifying.
It was.
Keep up with all the improvements that they were.
Keep up with who's doing what, where, and when.
Yeah, such a short track.
Absolutely. So here is the question for you: who is your dark horse for the race?
Oh. I'm wondering about Kaiser Soze because he's quite far down the order. I'm wondering if he's got a lower downforce setup to try and make positions up during the race. So I don't know, but then it'll depend on if we are going to get any rain during the race as well. We know that Emilia Romagna can dish out a bit of rain.
It can indeed. I'm kind of in two minds about this. I quite fancy the Fox River having a win here. I think that if the Ferrari could take a win here, but like you, it depends, Connor, good evening, it depends a lot on what the weather's going to do. If it rains, there's going to be people, I mean, look at the beautiful blue skies, absolutely, but that means nothing because we know it could well do. But I'm going to go for Mr. Jake in the Ferrari to deliver a home win, shall we say.
So let's see how much we've cursed them.
Yes, exactly. Well, you've cursed second in the championship, so if it goes wrong, on your head be it. Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, interestingly, because Eddie Dust is on pole, so let's just flip back to the standings, because Eddie Dust is third in the championship. He's 37 points behind these two. And I'll just say if Mark and Steve had a bad race and never scored any points and Eddie was to win it, that would bring him right into contention. Yeah. Now,
definitely.
Let's have a look at the tyres. First and foremost, hards and mediums. Nobody has gone on to the sauce. Eddie Dust pole sitter, hards. Womack second on the mediums. Then Mark in third through to Sociopath is hards. Couple of medium runners. So the Kaiser Soze, mediums. Loppy, mediums. Simba down to Dumbest Hornet, hards. Then Genie down to Baldy on the mediums. And Carl has went on the hards. No real surprises there, to be perfectly honest. What we expected, hard and medium runners.
I think this indicates that we will probably have a dry race.
Yes.
No soft tyres being put on. Only very few medium tyres. So, had there been some rain expected around, I don't know, lap 15 or something, everybody would probably have put some hard tyres on.
Yeah. Yep.
Some medium tyres I meant. So, we're probably looking at a dry race here.
Yeah, I would agree that. I would agree that completely. We shall see what is going to happen over the next 30 odd laps. Now, let's just have a quick look. Comments, interesting qualifying. Mr. Barber, yes, absolutely. absolutely smashed it on his return there. So, and we know the run down to turn 1, and we know how tight turn 1 can be.
Yeah, yes.
Now, in MRCX on Friday, it did cause some commotion, shall we say. Apparently, Connor is asking, why are you English tonight?
I can be English, I can be Italian, I can be very many things.
He's basically everything I wish I could be but can't. There you go. Right, let's get rid of this, because we are getting ready for the start. So let's just remind you, Eddie Dust on pole, Womack second, Mark third, Ryan fourth, Alex in fifth.
Bit is now in his pit slot. So
he is indeed. And here we go, folks. We're ready for the lights as we get ready, and for the Spaghetti Bolognese Grand Prix. We are underway, and it's a really good start from the pole setter. Mark's already passed Womax into second place, and as we now come all the way down, it's fighting absolutely one by one. Let's have a look though and see. Oh, has everyone managed to get through? Oh, a few bits and bobs there, but I think everyone has indeed. Genie, I think, may have gone round. DRS Julian has gone round as well, but the championship leader is just about there in second. He's got an Alfa Romeo in front of him and behind him. One of the Hassies. Look at that, Red Car Rambo and Sociopath. Sociopath trying to go up the inside at Tosa. Ryan hangs out round the outside. Championship second place man Kazasosi up to 7th.
On the Hamilton.
Not good. But everyone managed to get through that first few corners unscathed. Simba's gone round! Yeah. And Alex has gone round as well! Alex has gone round at the Variante Alta. Oh, this is not a good start from him. Or Aquaman or Ali, sorry.
I was about to talk about Simba because he braked pretty late in turn 1. So I was wondering if he had got any front damage.
He possibly
looks okay for now.
Yep, he'll be hoping so. He can get back through the pack. Eddie Dust fastest man on the track, as you would expect. Mark second. Kaiser Soze now up into 6th. Let's jump on board with second in the championship because he's going after Sociopath. He's not. He's now using a bit of ERS. But you can see Ryan, he can see Womax, and he can see Mark. He can see Mark. Oh! Sociopath's managed to bin it and lost it coming out of turn 1 and 2. And that makes it easier for Steve. He goes, thank you very much. Sociopath, down to 17th. Make that 18th. Not ideal.
So I have no idea how.
Yeah, Eddie Dust is absolutely just flying. 2.4 seconds the gap at the moment. That's just incredible. Incredible. So, if you were Steve now, you can see Mark. Bildy Baldy's just down to 15. Gini and Carl up. DRS Julian gets 3-second time penalty for multiple corner cuttings. But if you were Kaiser, you're looking and thinking, I've had a good first lap. I've gone from 9th on the grid to 5th. I've got a couple of cars in between me and my championship challenger. I'm on the same tyres as him. I can just calm down. He's not on the same tyres. He's on the mediums. Actually, scrap everything I've just said. Oh, one of the the Mercedes Heppy has managed to lose it into the wall coming out of Ravazza 2. And Mercedes Constructors Challenge has just taken a huge big... Yeah. But he's on the medium tyres. I was going to say he could just sort of let himself bed in, but scrap all of that. He needs to absolutely floor it now. He needs to get past Ryan. He needs to get past Womax. And that's Ryan just ran wide, just coming into Tosa, and that has allowed Kaiser to come through. Ryan on those hard compound tyres in the Haas just overcooked it slightly. Kaiser up to 4th.
Well, it's this lap where things could get mixed up a bit. DRS has been activated, so we could see some moves from Umax and actually these are he said red car spanning around.
Jake, 6th place. So currently your call for the race was Who was your call for this? Kaiser Soze. Ah, 4th. Mine's the 6th. So far, touch wood, we haven't cursed them.
Yep, not yet. It's got great starts.
DRS
from 17th to 8th.
Yep. Womax gets DRS on Mark. So let's see how close he gets as we're on board with him. On board in the T-Cam. He's gaining. Is he going to make a move up the inside? No. It is a good place to try and make a move. I did do it a couple of times in X, but he didn't this time. He's very close though to the back of Mr. Hodgson and Eddie Dust. That gap at the front is stabilised. Carl and Gatian having a little bit of battle. Carl has he had a moment? He has. He's out onto the stones, out into the gravel trap, and that Ferrari just doesn't like Imola.
I'm feeling very sorry right now for Lopi. He's about to get lapped. And that's so yeah. It's gonna be a tough race for him.
Yep, long race, no way back, really looking from the back of the rear wing of the McLaren. Womax is really there, and if Womax can just stay within this distance, I fancy him to make a move up the past the McLaren. Let's see though, as we do, everyone else line astern pretty much. This is the closest battle on track. Monster gets 3 seconds. He's up into 7th at the moment. Mark has to balance off risk and reward here. He can't fight them too quickly. Remember, they're on different tyres, so the race will come to him. He's got about half a second. Now, he had a half a second gap this time last lap. Womax was gaining. He's gaining. He's not gaining quick enough. Mark's beginning to weave, but he's going to make a move now. Womax going to go round the outside. Yes, he does into turn 1. He's going to watch. Mark has to watch. He doesn't make contact, and he absolutely, the two of them there, superb racing.
Sociopath down in 15th is about to try a move on Alex.
Is it going to make a... Oh, Ryan's had a moment as well coming into one. What happened with Alex and Sociopath?
Well, Sociopath ran wide. And just avoided a big accident, so...
So
what's happened to Ryan?
Ryan spun it coming into the Villeneuve chicane, and then as he came out of the Villeneuve chicane, spun it as well. Lopi has in fact been lapped. Womax, let's jump on board with the second man in the championship. Fox River's up into 5th place right now, 1.4 behind. Jake just has to calm it and just keep it going. Don't do what you did in Japan, please, and run hard tyres to the 27th lap out of 28 or something and then crash. Let's see though. Remember, Mark, this time he has a 7/10 of a second lead, so he started to just push that gap a little bit and bring it out. It will mean that Womax is susceptible to this man that we're on board with, who's gaining ish, but not a lot. Eddie Dust, I wonder if he's taken too much out of his tyres. Oh, what's happened to Jake? Because Andrew's passed him. That must have been under DRS. Good move by Andrew into turn number 1. Jake needs that place back. Single track from 17th to 7th at the moment. Dumbest Hornet from 15th.
Andrew was saying that he wasn't feeling confident at all for the race, and he's gone up 8 places. So
exactly, I sense he has been underplaying himself because he is quick, and he's on the hards as well. It's not even as if he's on the softs and the mediums. He's on the hard compound tyre. Right, battle's back at the top. Womax now only 0.2 of a second behind Mark. Remember, Mark gained it to around about 7/10 as they came out of Ravazza 2. It just seems that Mark gets better traction. Gatian and Dumbest Hornet having a little bit of battle, can see that, but it just seems as if Womax doesn't get as good a traction or as good a run through. Oh, we've got yellow, we've got an Aston Martin that's gone round, that must be Dumbest Hornet. But let's see what he can do this time. Again, it's 0.5 of a second. He's not close enough to be able to make that move, or if he does try to make that move, he's going to have to go up the inside. He's absolutely gaining. Is he moving up the inside? Ooh.
Yeah,
do you know what?
Failed out of that one.
Would you have gone for that move? Because I would have.
I wasn't on board, so I couldn't see clearly, but I probably would have.
Yeah.
Because Womax probably has a bit more pace right now.
Yep.
So,
I think he's been hampered by the McLaren in front. So, overall 2.3 at the top, Eddie Dust to Mark. Any other battles that we're seeing? Gini and Gatian split by about 0.3 of a second. They're having a little bit of battle. The thing about this Imola circuit, there's not many places you can overtake. It's a bit like Monaco. Really, turn 1 and 2 is kind of your default place. Maybe coming down into the Ravazas if you're quick enough. But really, other than that, that is about
it's all about turn 1 and not making any mistakes, as you said. Yep. Same as Monaco.
Right. Womax. Let's see what he can do. 0.3, 4/10. 4/10. He's closer this time. He's fractionally closer. He's deploying his ERS right now. He's gaining. He's going to absolutely have him. Even before turn 1, there goes the Womax of the Red Bull past the McLaren. He used ERS and DRS there, but he did what we said. He had to get closer coming out of Ravazza 2. The move was on. Now, the heavyweights in the championship are 3rd and 4th.
But Womax has just moved into the red light district now. He's really used up his ERS, so
I like that.
Vulnerable to Mark if he doesn't get a gap.
He is indeed. So let's keep an eye on that gap. We've got a yellow though, and it's in sector 1. It's an Alfa Romeo. Sorry, it's Alex.
Yeah, and
he's went from
he qualified brilliantly, but
3rd. Yeah.
Struggling.
Yep. Ryan and Alex having a little bit of a battle. Kaiser Soze is only 1.5 behind Mark. One of the McLarens has spun. That Simba spun coming out of Tosa. Oh, it's not the race. Yep.
There's several drivers out there.
Yep. Let's see now. Let's jump on board with Kaiser Soze. So remember, Mark is 9/10 behind Womack, so he should get DRS, which should keep him out the clutches of Kaiser Soze. Womack's fastest man on track, just showing his pace right now. Mark gaining, but he's not going to gain enough to be able to find a way past going into turn 1 and 2. Kaiser Soze is not quick enough either. So there we have it. Andrew's keeping nicely in 5th.
I don't think Mark needs to try and get past Womax for now. He can just charge his battery back up. He's going to get the tyre advantage in a few laps' time, so he may as well bide his time and go for the move later on.
Nope, you are right, 100%. Simba's in the pits. Simba in the pits. Gini and Gatian still having their little battle at the moment. That's the closest battle on track, bar from the one we were watching.
Considering Martin hasn't had any practice, he's having an incredible race right now.
He is.
Into Fox's DRS range.
He is.
So.
Oh! That is crucial for the championship. 3 seconds for this man in the McLaren. And that, 9 laps. He needs to absolutely... Oh, Womax is at the moment coming out of Ravazza. So Ravazza 1 has caught him out. Womax down to 4th.
How the turntables.
Exactly. The other thing, and this is the thing, what Mr. Hodgson doesn't need right now, he does not need a late safety car, because that will absolutely destroy his ability to defend if there is a late safety car, indeed, for the 3 seconds. Womax, dirty tyres, will be looking to regain. Andrew in 5th. Martin and Jake having a bit of a battle. Wazza's kind of nowhere, to be fair. He's 8th, but he's in no man's land at the moment. He's got Rob coming up on his gearbox, then Gatian, then Dumbest Hornet, Sociopath. The field is just really spread right now, and I think Loppy gets 3 seconds. Simba's coming into Ravazza, so he's only about 10 seconds or so from potentially being lapped. Eddie Dust. Oh, Mark's run really wide.
Mark's run wide there,
yeah, so he's pushing like mad, but he's got to watch that he doesn't get any more warnings. He can't afford to get 6 seconds at all. 3 seconds is bad enough. Right now, let's just jump on board with Soze. Does he get DRS? He does indeed, but he's not close enough. Medium pit stop strategy into the hard lap, maybe 12, 13, 14, 15. would you say, 20 laps?
Yeah, 14, 15 or something, and get just over half the race on hard tyres, if there aren't any safety cars, of course. But yeah, I was wondering just now if we've gone past the crossover point at all.
Yeah, but Gini's just in the pits, gone onto the hards.
Oh, okay.
Medium to hard strategy for him.
So, going for the undercuts.
Yep, Steve is gaining on Mark. He's half a second now behind. He was about 9/10 of a second, so we'll jump on board with that Mercedes. This is the championship fight. The rest of the battles, not really. Sociopath and Dumbest Hornet, 2/10 of a second. 8/10 between Martin and Jake. This is kind of where we're focusing at the moment. And in front of Mark is Loppy, so if Mark could be using Loppy quite well here for a bit of DRS. So let's see.
Good.
Sociopath has passed Dumbest Hornet. Loppy is letting Mark go.
It really is a shame for Loppy, because look how long it has taken for him to get lapped by Mark after being lapped by Eddie.
Yep.
He has got some pace.
Oh, he does.
He has got some pace out there, so it's such a shame not to see him back up there.
It is indeed, and there is nothing worse. As soon as you get lapped, that is you. Your race is likely kind of gone at that point, especially if you get safety cars. You're not getting the opportunity to go back. Waza's in a race of his own. Gatian, Sociopath, let's see what Dumbest Hornet, what can Chris do? Nothing. Carl's up to 13th, but still no points for the Ferrari. Ryan needs some points. Alex. Again, you just look at the bottom 10, right? Fast drivers. Simba, Rob, Julian, Ryan, Alex. It's just, you just think there's a lot of quick drivers, but the problem is the field is so spread. What you need is a safety car. And
for those drivers, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Mark is not going to have DRS this time. He's 2.8 behind Eddie Dust. Kaiser is going to have DRS, but Womax is beginning to come back. Now, Steve's got to think, when am I pitting? He's pitting now! So second in the championship pits, lap 13. So he's going to try and do 18 laps in the hards. It is possible. But where is it going to bring him out? That's the question. He needs to try and get out. He's going to get out behind this gaggle of cars that's got his teammate in the Aston Martin, and actually he's going to be way behind him. Is he going to get out just in front of Carl? He might not even manage that. I don't think he is. I think Steve's going to come out in an awful place. He's going to come out behind Carl and Ryan? He does. Oh!
I think it's not too bad, because Ryan isn't that slow either.
He's not, but what?
So he's going to struggle to warm up his tyres, so he's going to be losing a bit of time. There's going to be a gap.
But
he'll be able to pass them one by one, I think.
What Steve needed was to get out in front of Carl and get some clean air.
Definitely, yeah.
All he's got now is this kind of barrage of Ryan and Carl. He's got his teammate in 11th, and I'm sure Heppy won't fight him too much, but you never know. Right, Andrew's in 4th, doing well. Womax, is he going to pit this lap? Because he's on the mediums as well. Remember, Eddie Dust's on the hards, Mark is on the hards. Womax, is he pitting? No. He says no. We've got a yellow flag, that's Simba. And he's dropped it into the gravel. And he's chuntering along. He's going to be lapped though by Eddie Dust. So the bottom two are a lap behind. No safety car. And Mr. Hodgson there.
Oh no, that's unfair.
Yep, I think that.
Be looked at in the stewards.
Yep, I think that will get removed. Sociopath, fastest man, 120.031 in his Alpine. In 9th place at the moment, so he's beginning to show a bit of pace. Andrew has got Jake behind. So Jake, the Andrew Jake Martin battle hasn't really progressed well. They're all kind of driving at similar pace. Waza in 7th is still there. Gatian's doing well in 8th place on those mediums. Let's just have a look at stops. No one's made a stop. Kaiser Soze has, Gingini has, E17, Simba and Loppy's made 2 stops. Right, do you know what we're going to do? We're just going to do a bit of a gap to the leader. So Kaiser Soze is 27 seconds behind Mark. So that, in the pits, you lose about 26, 27 seconds. Wait a minute, is that one of the Mercedes is spun? It's Heppy. Heppy has spun it, coming out of Aqua Minerale. He's got to watch that he gets out of the way of his teammate. He can't. Yep, there he goes, he does indeed. But Kaiser Soze is losing time. Simba gets a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, has retired from the session, has obviously got some damage there.
So he's finally got his tyres up to the trees.
Ryan
right now.
How did Ryan get a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags? That's an interesting one. Maybe. We'll keep an eye on that one. But anyway, sure, we'll have a look at that. 29.6, so the gap now is beginning to come down. So E17 gets 3 seconds. Is also in the pit stop, will drop down to 16. Simba's AI car will stop on the track somewhere, hopefully not generating a safety car. Kaiser is looking at Ryan all over the place. Yep. Ryan is making the Haas as wide as he can. Steve's going to try the switcheroo. The good old Swedish shuffle. He's surely not going to make a move into Piratella, because that would be
so much time.
Yes. He certainly has probably lost at least 2 to 3 seconds in the last 2 laps, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe one more lap, he would have come out in front of this lot. The only benefit he's got is he's got his teammate behind him, so his teammate is creating that gap. The problem that he's got is, and Womax is pitted, so Womax is in the pits. Now, this is the key. Will Womax get out in front of Steve? That is the key question here. We will monitor it to find out.
Yes, I think he'll be...
DRS Julian. Yep. Womax.
Yeah, I think that Womax is going to get out.
Womax is good.
Yeah, he's going to get...
he might not.
He might not.
No, yeah. I think he might. Is he? No, he doesn't. Right. So, and this is the challenge, right? Steve is now released from Ryan, has to get past Carl relatively quickly, and could, in theory, then jump Mark in the pit stops. Now, bear in mind, Mark is on the hards. He's going to go onto the mediums, whereas Steve's on the hards. But the mediums are not a great race tyre around here. So we shall see.
If Mark is listening to the comms, I think he'd have a grin on his face, because he's slowly catching up onto Eddie, and he's creating a gap on his championship rival, who's struggling like mad to get past Bit right now.
We're just on board with Steve.
Carl's having some much faster tyres towards the end of the race, so it's all looking pretty good at the moment for the 2 drivers in front.
Yep. Steve is kind of getting a little bit frustrated, shall we say, by Carl. Carl putting his car where he needs to, but maybe not doing the greatest for his own race. We shall see. Steve will get DRS though, and he's going to absolutely use the power of that Mercedes engine to get past. He's lost time to... bit of a late move there from Carl. Don't condone that, but nothing exactly. No, exactly. Now, this is where we need to see what the pace is. We've got a yellow in Sector 2. Who was that? And that's cleared now. Wondered who it was, potentially. So, let's see how quick Steve is, because this is going to determine when Mark pits. Mark will know if he's looking at his onboards, he'll see when he's going to rejoin. Now, he doesn't necessarily know where Kaiser Soze is, unless he's listening to us, or unless his race engineer is telling him. Sociopath and Waza.
Well, pretty good move between Aqua Minerale and the Variante Alta.
Yeah, that's a great move. It's generally not one you tend to see a lot. At the moment, that gap between Mark and Steve is still 28 seconds, and that is roughly what you need to make a pit stop. So right now, it is as close as it could be. Right, who else have we got? Alex and Single Track having a little battle, so let's jump on board with the Alpine.
Happy's pitted, so he won't be having his protection from his teammate.
Nope, he will not. Let's keep an eye out. So Martin there, Carl in ninth. He's going to be hoping to kind of go long. Jake is in fourth. Ryan sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:19.5, so it shows his pace, even although he's down in 17th. Alex is in 18th, he's in the pits. Kaiser's not really making any quick moves.
Womack is going through a move on the Variante Alta.
Mark is pitted. Kaiser, where? No, he hasn't. Where is Kaiser? That is the question. Sociopath gets speeding in the pit lane, 5 seconds. Kaiser's just coming out of Ravazza 2 just now. I think Mark has him. Mark should have him. I say should. It's going to be close.
Closer than we expect,
No. It's not as close as we would have thought. The gap is probably... it's 1.4 seconds, so that gap just didn't get close quick enough. Now, Mark is going to be on those cold tyres, though. So, and Steve's run wide! That's not what he needed right now. At all.
Womack has been able to get past Bit, so he's got to try and get back up to Kizasozi as quickly as possible.
Yep, Monster's got to get himself past Carl, but Andrew, just keep it calm. Don't make any rash moves. Try and make a move on the run-up from Tosa to Piratella's. Probably not going to be the best move, to be fair. But we shall see.
Those medium tyres are already working for Mark. He's created a
Has it 2 seconds? Yeah.
On Kizasozi in just 1 sector, so it's looking good for him.
It is. What he's got to watch, though, is he's got that 3-second penalty. And we know the mediums tend to start to drop off a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Who hasn't
Eddie
pitted?
still hasn't pitted right now.
Nope.
So we're going to have to see if Mark's undercut is going to be working.
Yep.
Or if the undercut by Eddie is the best way to go.
Top 4 haven't pitted. Eddie Dust, Fox River, Womack's fastest man on the track, Wazza and Dumbest Hornet. Carl has been passed. Carl's gone into the pits. So he's going to drop down the order, probably well out of the points. By the looks of it, I think he'll probably drop to 15th or 16th potentially. So we'll see where we are. 2.7 now the gap between Mark and Kaiser.
Not many close battles on track. It looks like the closest battle there is between Julian and Gatchen and down in 11th. But yeah, it's a bit gone quiet right now. As Mark has got a 3-second gap.
Julian's just had a bit of a twitch coming into Tosa, and that has allowed Gatien past him. He got the rear of that Red Bull onto the gravel. I'll tell you one thing. The top 4 are waiting for a safety car. They're hoping there's going to be a safety car in the next 2 or 3 laps, or even if there isn't, they're going to go onto the softs. Because the softs can do it. I mean, I did 9 laps on the softs on Friday.
As many as that? Okay.
Yeah, and to be fair, they still had pace. Wazza is pitting, so the first of the top 4 pits. What does he put on though? Let's keep an eye. What does he put on? One of the Mercedes was looking at coming as well.
Yeah. 12 laps to go. I think it will be mediums. It is mediums.
Oh, it is mediums. Yep. It's surprising though, because really there's only 11, 12 laps as you said, but. If the top 3 can just hang it out for another couple of laps, they can put those soft compound tyres on. I think that's what Eddie Dustin is going to go for. 3.7 now, the gap between Mark and Kaiser.
So, Jack, what do you think? Is Eddie going to stay out in front when he pits, or is Mark going to get the undercut done?
One of the Alpines has spun in Sector 1. I think Mark will get the undercut, but Eddie will put the softs on. And he will be quicker, and he'll overtake him with about 4 laps to go.
Yep, I think you're right.
He doesn't pit again, Eddie does, so he stays out. Jake is fighting with Dumbest Hornet. Well, sorry, he's not fighting with Dumbest Hornet. It's a 14-second gap, but Jake is there. He's keeping going. Do you know what? He's going to do exactly the same thing he did in Japan. He's going to keep going, and something's going to happen to him. Mark has Dumbest Hornet about a second, 1.5 in front. Dumbest Hornet pits, so out of the... No, he doesn't. Sorry, apologies. It was one of the Alpha Tauris has pitted. Sorry, it was one of the Alpines, or Williams, it was the Loppy. Bergen says, can I start the rain dance now? Yes, you can. Do it. It's not going to rain, but it'll rain in Tier 1.
Don't dance too hard, we know it can go badly around these parts.
Yeah, but Anton, come on, you want rain in Tier 1.
Oh yes, of course I do.
Yes, you do. That's it. To be fair, I do remember Tier 3 last season, or the season before, and it was raining, and I think I went from, I don't know, was it 7th on the grid to like 3rd in the opening lap or something like that, but it was just a great race, but it was so difficult. Yellow flags in Sector 1, we have Julian, I think, has gone round. Yes, he has, so Julian's not having a great second part to the race.
Ooh.
Heppy just goes past just as he was ghosted. So we'll keep an eye on him. Eddie Dust is now pitted, so there we go. Let's have a look. Is he going to go for softs? He's got to. He's got to.
I think he's going to, yeah. According to
yes,
what he said the other day.
Oh no, it's not. It's mediums. I think he's made the wrong move there. He could have put softs on and got to the end.
Well, to be fair, he's got 4 laps less away than Mark.
Yeah,
so
Mark's passed him.
Make a difference. All he needs really is to stay within 3 seconds of Mark. So
yeah,
I think it's the safest move.
Yeah, the only man not to, or the only 2 people not to have pitted are Fox River is leading and Julian in 13th at the moment. The rest have all stopped, apart from Loppy, who stopped 3 times. E17 and Sociopath, who have stopped twice. Tyres, just for those who've just joined, hards and mediums across the board. There's your luck. Back to the battles. Right, so Mark is 12 seconds behind Jake. Jake pits now, he's going to drop down into 7th place. What he is hoping is there is a safety car. Guaranteed. Let's keep an eye on Eddie Dust. Kaiser's, to be honest, no, not really anywhere. The problem he's got is he's got Womack beginning to gain on him. So Kaiser at the moment is kind of hoping that Eddie Dust can do him a favour and pass Mark, and he'll minimise any loss in the championship.
I'll tell you who's looking good if there's a safety car right now, and it's your pick of the day.
Ah, I know. Jake would do really well. And we've got a yellow in Sector 1. Who is that? There's a car that has stopped. It's Loppy. At the end of the pit lane, we can see he has stopped. Well, he was stopped. He has stopped again. He's reversing. What? He's reversing. What is this?
Some interesting strategies.
Let's put it this way, ladies and gentlemen. That is not... Yes, that will be looked at, if I'm being perfectly honest. That was absolutely shocking.
I mean, Imola is an anti-clockwise track. He tried to make it clockwise.
So yeah, he is, at the moment, stopped. Anyway... He was disqualified, yeah, exactly. I'll be honest, Jake would have looked for a safety car at that point, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. His heart would have been racing with excitement for that, but yeah. I think
he's in the pits now. Jake pits, soft tyres. Come on, Jake. Do it.
It's got to be.
Got to be.
It's got to be.
Softs. Come on. Yes! Get in there, son. Soft tyres. Good to see the Ferrari strategists getting it right.
Someone followed the gap strategy.
Exactly, someone's got to. Do you know what? Womack's Monster and Kaiser Soze are having a little bit of a battle here, to be fair. I said Fox would come out in 7th. He does. Monster
is still looking... The track's looking sunny, but what about the sky? It's looking a bit overcast.
Yeah, it's a wee bit overcast. I wonder.
Has Bergen been bouncing at all?
He's been bouncing, yes, he has indeed.
Dancing.
Dancing, ranting, bouncing, whatever you want, he's been doing. To be perfectly honest, so Let's see, Eddie Dust 2.4 behind championship leader, who is in first at the moment. Kazasozi third. Just not being the strategy. He got held up too much in these 3 or 4 laps coming out of the pits. He's got to battle off Womack, and this is now damage limitation for the Mercedes driver. Single track in 6th, he's got Fox all over the back of him because Fox has taken the soft strategy, which I called, and is the best strategy known to man. Who else? What other battles have we got? Eddie Dust, fastest man on track, gets that gap down by half a second to Mark now. E17's been passed by Sociopath. I have a funny suspicion that
Foxy's going for it.
Yeah. Let's see. He's passed Martin, is indeed up into 6th place. He's now got a 9-second gap to Monster. Let's put it this way, it's not undoable, but he would have to race his little socks off, to be fair. But Kaiser, Wumax and Monster are all fighting. So it is going to allow him that opportunity, and if he can just reduce that gap bit by bit by bit, then he's going to be doing rather well. Eddie Dust has reduced the gap by another half a second, down to 1.3. It's all just sort of stagnated slightly. Nobody's really making any moves. Yeah, it's not coming to life just yet. I think there's another couple of laps and then we might start to see it. If Eddie Dust can get past Mark, then it's an interesting end. Mark would get 18 points, Kazusuzu would get 15. The gap would be 14 points then in the championship, so still double digits, but nowhere near what it was when they went into Japan. I think it was 29 potentially as they went into Japan. Right.
Information, Eddie's on 2 warnings for the moment.
Oh, God, Rob's got speed in the pit lane. Someone has spun it. That is the Aston Martin, dumbest Hornet, coming out. Oh, just in front of these two at the moment. He was at the top of Ferratello, just coming out of it, but no safety car. That would be that would be Mark's worst nightmare if a safety car comes out right now, because his lead would just go, and those 3 seconds would be a major hindrance.
Darren in the chat is asking for some race info, so could we just show for a moment?
Already done it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, nope, all good, already done it. Daryl, tune in at 7 o'clock, not later. You get all the information as it happens. Right, Eddie Dust has DRS as he's now coming down the main straight. Not close enough this time though, so he's got another 3-4 laps to be able to do it. It's all relatively calm.
Yeah, a bit too calm.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, Wimax and Monster are having a bit of a balance. A bit of a balancing act here. Fox is kind of stagnated. He's 7.2 behind Monster. He's not made any real progress. He got past Martin, but he's not really got anywhere on those softs. Yeah, it's all just a bit. We need something to sort of mix it up. Safety car would do nicely. Hodgson will be killing me and cursing me right now. Eddie Dust, however, is well within the DRS. But again, though, right? Yeah, it is. Mark doesn't have to fight Eddie. I mean, yes, 25 points. Championship versus 18 is still 7 points. That would still give him, I think, another 14. That would make his lead 21 points, but he doesn't have to risk a coming together, shall we say?
I think it's in his best interest to let Eddie pass and use him as
DRS.
Yeah, exactly. To use the DRS and create a gap on Kaiser, even though that gap shouldn't be closing down.
No.
I think Kaiser's going to be regretting his strategy, pitting so early in the race and being stopped by some traffic.
It was the wrong call, because And don't get me wrong, not everybody races with the full track map. I mean, I know I do, and if I look on the little multifunction display and it says rejoin in 12.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Subvirtual.
Excited gap noises.
I just wanted to see a little yellow dot just appear at the start-finish line. That's what I wanted to see. I was like, ooh.
I think we're safe from that for the moment.
We are indeed. But if you sense that you might come out in 12th and you kind of roughly work it back, if he'd stayed out another lap, could he have got out in front of them? Because if he had, it probably would have made his race. Because he just got compromised.
He probably was about a second and a half quicker than them, so I think it would have been enough, yeah. I think it would have been.
Julian retires in the pits. Still under VSC. Drive-through penalty for Martin. That's not good. And there's your penalties at the moment. 6 seconds for Monster, drive-through penalty for Martin. That'll put him back down the field. 8 seconds for Gatti and 3 for Carl. 8 for Rob. 6 for E17 and 1 for this man, Mr. Hodgson, who is leading right now. 1.7 seconds the gap, so he's gained a little bit out of that VSC.
Womax is just behind Kaiser Soze. He's about a second behind, so he'll be looking to get into that DRS range. Try and build a battle for the last 2 laps of the race.
I think we've beaten the safety car window.
Yep.
No safety car potential now. If anything does happen, it will be covered. Eddie Dust 1.5 behind. Is there a bit of rain? There's rain! There's rain!
There is.
There is rain on lap 30. Wow. 2 and a bit laps. Do you know what? I wish it had been raining 5 laps before, though. Rain.
To be honest, 5 laps would have been too much because everybody would have gone to the Inters.
Well,
I think 1 or 2 laps earlier would have been enough for people to either gamble with a pit stop or carry on with some stick tyres.
Yep.
And it would have been chaos. I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, so would I.
Now it's just going to be about how quickly the rain goes down.
Exactly. Hodgson, we're on board with him. We'll see if the grip goes at all. It shouldn't. Not this quickly anyway, but the next lap could be a little bit treacherous. Eddie Dust 1.7 behind, so it looks... Well, no, actually, sorry. Eddie Dust just needs to stay within 3 seconds, and he gets the win. So, actually, yeah. Anyway, let's see.
With the rain going down, if Mark is quicker in the rain, he could get that gap up to 3 seconds.
He could. It's stabilising around about 1.7 at the moment, so we'll just see what it ends up as being. Kaiser is surviving right now. Andrew will drop, I think, to behind Jake with his 6 seconds.
The DRS is still activated, I think.
Yep, it is. It's not been deactivated yet, and normally that's the crossover. 1.9 now, so Hodgson's broke out slightly. It's now 2 seconds.
Wetter, that gap is opening up.
Yep. Let's jump on board with Eddie Dust. Let's see what his grip is like into the first turn. Looks like a break just a little bit earlier. E17 gets another 3 seconds. 2.2 now.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting ending.
Yep. ERS is a little bit balanced. Single track gets disqualified.
Oh, that's bad.
Yep, he ignored the 3 lap rule. Rob gets 3 seconds as well. 2.1 it is between Mark and Eddie Dust. Eddie Dust is on the way to be the Tasmanian Devil.
I think Martin thought he could get away with it with 3 laps left, but ended up being 4 laps left.
Yes, and that is the problem.
Yeah.
Eddie Dust stays within 3 seconds, so right now, coming to the end of the race, we are going to have a win on track, but a win... Oh, Martin says, gave me a penalty within the window. Game obviously said, computer said, no! Right, Hodgson's going to come across the line and take victory, but he's going to lose it immediately to the Alfa Romeo of Eddie Dust, who's going to come across the line in second, but takes first. Championship, 18 points to Mark. Kaiser Soze is going to come across the line and take third, so damage limitation for him. Womack's fourth, Monster's fifth on track, but going to be overtaken by Jake once penalties are accrued for. Jake, very good result, fifth in the Ferrari with that alternate strategy of hards to mediums. Waza's going to come through just in seventh place. Dumbest Hornet Chris is in eighth. Gatian's going to come through in ninth, but he's probably going to fall behind Heppy. He will actually, as they come across the line. Yep, Heppy goes ninth, Gatian 10th. Carl's going to come through outside of the points and stay outside of the points. DRS now disabled. Bit late. Carl comes through 11th. Alex is in 12th. Rob is going to come home in 13th. Exactly. Monster says 10th to 5th. Or 1/10 from 5th. Yep, but you started way down the field. Done, so there, Rob manages to go straight on, but takes his 5-second penalty. Sociopath's going to come through in 14th. Across the and he bangs into the wall as he comes through. He beats Rob. Ryan's now coming through on his return. He qualified, what was it, third or fourth he qualified? Just a few things in the race didn't quite go his way, but still a remarkable race. In return, he comes through 15th, and he's 17, lap down in 16th. Do you know what, Ryan? First race back, great qualifying session, and unlucky, but still a superb delivery there. Yeah. Carl gets driver of the day in the game. Not really sure I agree with that. Who's your driver of the day?
It's a tough one because he had no safety cars and plenty of drivers look to have built their race pretty well. I think single track did really well until he got that drive-through penalty. Hard to say. I think Mark did well with his strategy. He won the race on track. So I would go for Mark on this one.
Okay, you go for driver of the day, Mark. My driver of the day is it's an interesting one. I'm torn between Kaiser Soze from 9th to 3rd, but I also then think I'm actually going to go Andrew. So we've got a split of the driver of the day. Mark for you, Andrew for me. I think 13th to 6th is a great result for him. Given apparently, and I'll say the word apparently, he hasn't practiced. I think he was sandbagging in qualifying personally. Especially when his fastest lap was just a 10th behind the championship leader. But yeah, I'll give it to Andrew. So there we go. Eddie Dust wins, Mark 2nd, Kaiser Soze 3rd, Womack's 4th, Fox River 5th, Andrew 6th, Waza 7th, 8th is Dumbest Hornet, 9th is Heppy Gatian, and 10th rounds out the point scoring positions. Carl and Alex finish 11th and 12th, disappointing days for them. Sociopath 13th, Rob 14th, Ryan 15th, E 17th, 16th. Julian retired, Simba retired, Martin was disqualified because he didn't serve his penalty, and God only knows what was happening with Lobby. He got disqualified for apparently reversing back into the pit lane. Who knows? It could have been AI. Absolutely no idea. But either way, the floppy loppy flopped totally and finished in 20th. Well, in 28 minutes' time, you get Tier 1, where you will be racing yourself. It is the two marks. It is M&M time for you. Whether it's going to be chocolate, peanut, or crispy, who knows? We shall find out. There's only one way of calling that. Tier 3 on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock from San Marino. Tier 4, 8:45 on Wednesday. Friday night, Australia, MRCX. The Australian weekend starts on Friday night at 7:30. Concludes next week, next Monday, the 5th of June for Tier 1 and 2. And next Wednesday for Tier 3 and 4 in Australia. After Australia, we've got 2 rounds left. Britain and Brazil, and the championship in Tier 2 is going to go all the way to Britain or Brazil. Tune in for Australia in a week's time. And Anton, all I've got to say to you is thank you, Saint-Quentin, for supporting me in the commentary box this evening. We have had a tremendous result, and you now have to get into your car and absolutely destroy the circuit like I am destroying the French accent. Don't quite know, I sound a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
Grazie mille for having me.
Yeah, you put me to shame. Thank you very much as always. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in 27 minutes time for Tier 1, and we shall see you next weekend. Or, well, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.